How can we be happy or happier if we're already happy? 7 happiness lessons. Salamat, Ama, dahil kayo'y maibigin and you never let us go. Teach us to know, to appreciate deeply the wonder of your stubborn love. At nawa ito maging baon namin, anumang araw ang dumating, anumang uri ng araw ang dumating, may isang hindi nagbabago, your love. Teach us to see that, teach us to celebrate that, and teach us, O Lord, to honor that. Forgive us our sins, cleanse us so we can see you face to face. We commit this time to you, asking you to be our preacher. Kayo nawa, Panginoon, na maging tagapangaral. Yung magandang kalooban nyo, ipaunawa nyo sa amin at kami naman maging masunurin sa inyo. We celebrate your goodness. Speak to your people, O God. Use only your servant as your tool, but be the speaker. In the name of Jesus, your Son, we pray with thanksgiving. Amen. 7. Magbilang tayo, ha? 7 happiness. 7 lessons in happiness. At ang ating pag-aaralan ngayon ay walang kamatayang storya ng tinatawag na prodigal son. At paano tayo kukuha ng kaligayahan sa isang kwentong tulad nito? Luke 15:11-12. Jesus told them another story. Once a man had 2 sons. The younger son said to his father, "Give me my share of the property." So the father divided his property between his 2 sons. Ang naging usual na paningin agad sa kwentong ito ay masamain yung ginawa nitong mas nakababatang anak. At laging siya ang kontrabida sa kwento. But he only asked for what was legally his. While we may feel some discomfort about him asking for his inheritance, but in the laws of Israel, children really had inheritance and that was lawful. So he only asked what was lawful. He did not ask for his other brother's inheritance. He did not ask for his father's whole estate, only his part. And the father, you will notice, did not problematize this act of the son. Pag nagbabasa po tayo ng scripture, let's stick to the text. And the text never tells us na minasama nung ama na hiningi ng anak yung kanyang parte sa kanyang mana. So far, so good. Hiningi ng anak ang kanyang parte, ibinigay naman ng ama. No judgment there because the text does not pass judgment. Luke 15:13-14. Not long after that, the younger son packed up everything he owned and left for a foreign country, where he wasted all his money in wild living. He had spent everything when a bad famine spread through the whole land. Soon, he had nothing to eat. Pwede naman nakuhanin yung mana, invest, o ilagay sa bank, itago. Maraming pwedeng gawin. Ang piniling gawin nitong anak na ito, ilustayin yung pera niya. At hindi lang basta lustayin, it was not a bad business decision, it was not a bad investment in wild living. Kung ano man ang kahulugan ng wild living nung araw na yon. Pero may isa na agad na lesson in happiness here, na madalas hindi natin nakikita bilang mga anak ng Diyos. Kasi dinidemonize agad natin yung ginawa ng anak. The first lesson here is to enjoy. Enjoy your birthright, your inheritance. Enjoy your resources. And enjoy your time. Hindi natin ginaglamorize, ginagawang modelo yung ginawa ng anak. Pero, ba't kaya ikinwento ni Jesus ang kwentong ito? Surely, these stories, these characters, symbolize deeper meanings in life. But first of all, withholding judgment for or against the son, what he did was to enjoy. Ang pag-enjoy lang sabi, wild living, and he wasted all his money. But nevertheless, nobody can deny the fact that he had fun. He had enjoyment. And no one in the story condemned this man so far. The younger son knew his father and trusted him completely. Trusted in his graciousness. Ito ang kwento. Hindi yung pagkakamali niya, Hindi yung paglustay niya. Ang kwento dito, kilala niya ang ama niya na pag hiningi niya, yung ganang kanya, ibibigay. Kilala ba natin ang ama natin? Hinihingi ba natin yung nakalaan naman talaga para sa atin? The younger son enjoyed his father's grace, though he was probably unworthy of it. But nevertheless, he enjoyed it. Enjoyment is probably the missing element in true faith and worship. Dito pa lang, meron ng challenge sa atin. And I ask you to look at this story from another frame, from another point of view, from the point of view of Jesus who was telling the story. Not from the point of view of the preachers and the churches that preach against what this son did in the last 2,000 years. Jesus was telling us a story, and definitely he had a purpose in telling us this story. And so far, we see that the son enjoyed his faith in his father. Malakas ang loob niyang humingi dahil kilala niya ang kabutihan ng kanyang ama na ibibigay yung kanyang hinihingi. Nagkamali lang nga siya ng paggamit, pero ibinigay. Yun ang unang kwento. Luke 15:15-16. He went to work for a man in that country, and the man sent him out to take care of his pigs. He would have been glad to eat what the pigs were eating, but no one gave him a thing. So matapos niyang lustayin ang kanyang kabuhayan, nagkaroon pa naman ng taghirap doon sa lugar na kanyang pinuntahan, nawala ng pagkain, kasi usually nun, pag nagka-drought, pag nagka-gyera, pag nagkaroon ng mga economic dislocations, nahihirapan ng mga tao at nadamay siya doon. Sana yung pera mo can be a shield against such crisis, such calamities. But he no longer had that shield. He was broke. Natulad na lang siya sa mga karaniwan. Pero ang kwento ay ito. Mula sa bahay ng kanyang ama, ngayon ay nakisilong siya sa ibang bahay ng isang ngayon ay maituturing nating naging bagong ama niya sa kanyang kalagayan, yung kanyang employer, yung kanyang pinasukan. Now he was under the shadow of this house, this household, and this man's authority. At kitang-kita natin agad ang pagkakaiba ng dalawang tatay na ito. Yung tatay na nagbigay sa kanya ng hiningi niya, at itong tatay na to na nagtatrabaho na siya, hindi pa siya sinusweldohan ng tama. Ginugutom pa rin siya. Agad-agad merong ibig sabihin sa buhay natin. Minsan umaalis tayo sa grasya ng Diyos at lumilipat tayo sa kung sino mang papa o mama o kung sino mang taong sinamahan natin, hindi naman tayo inaalagaan. Hindi naman tayo minamahal. So lumungkot siya. Nagutom siya. Napapagod na nga siya, hindi pa siya nagkakaroon ng sukle, ng tamang sweldo. Di ba maraming ganyan? Umiibig sa hindi naman umiibig sa kanila. Naghahabol sa ayaw naman silang pansinin. Pinagsisiksikan ng mga sarili nila sa hindi naman nag-aalaga sa kanila. Nagiging unhappy. At kadalasan para mangyari pa yun, ang nilalayasan natin yung ama natin sa langit na mapagmahal at maibigin. Immediately, there are many lessons here on happiness. There is another father here, the unkind employer, the unkind father. You don't want this father. Immediately the story is leaping out of the pages telling you, you don't want this kind of arrangement. So a lesson on happiness here, at least work to earn. Matapos siya maglustay, naging responsible naman siya. Naghanap siya ng trabaho. Hindi lang nga siya mapasweldohan ng tama. Work to earn your keep. You want to be happy in life? Pag wala kang pera, magtrabaho ka. Humanap ka ng hanap buhay. Lalo kung hindi ka na pwedeng umasa doon sa dating mapagbigay sa'yo dahil lumayo ka na o naubos mo na yung binigay niya sa'yo, huwag kang maghanap ng bagong magbibigay na naman. Work. Deserve your wages. And there's another lesson in happiness, brothers and sisters. It takes a certain amount of money to enjoy and to be happy. No matter how religious you are, kailangan may pera ka. Huwag mong linlangin ang sarili mo na mapapasaya ka ng iyong pagiging religyoso. You need a certain amount of money. Yung mga iba, I live by faith, I live by faith. Tapos panay naman paghihingi kung kani-kanino. Anong faith yon? So dapat ang tao naghahanap buhay and adjust to your economic status. Sometimes there are reversals in our lives. Dati kang mayaman, medyo naghirap ka. Dati kang maunlad, medyo nasira yung negosyo. Adjust. You want to be happy? Adjust. Nothing is permanent. Not wealth, not even poverty. Not sickness, not health. Talagang gumugulong ang buhay. So kung nag-enjoy ka, enjoy it. Pag dumating na hindi enjoyable moment, bear with it. Adjust to be happy. Huwag ka dapat laging nagsasentimiento about past glory, about past wealth and past fame. Tapos na yon. Itong taong to nag-adjust. Nagtrabaho. Yung pinaka-nakaririmarin pa ng trabaho dahil nag-aalaga siya ng mga baboy, Jew siya. So sa kanila, kadiri-diri yon. But he wanted to earn his money and he wanted to have food in his stomach. Pero yung paman, kulang ang ibinabayad sa kanya. Ang storya dito, na laging pinaggigigilan ng iba ay yung pagkakamali niya. I'll rather that the story is a comparison between two fathers. Two authorities. Two sources of blessings. Luke 15:17 to 19. Finally, he came to his senses and said, "My father's workers have plenty to eat, and here I am, starving to death. I will go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. Then I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Treat me like one of your workers." Itong taong to, kahit anong iba to sa kanya ng buhay, ang magiging ending, sasaya to. Kahit ang simula niya, ganun. Kala mo, ang sama-sama niya, hiningi niya yung kanyang mana, pagkatapos, nagpasasa siya, naghirap siya, pero nagtrabaho naman nung nawala ng pera. At ngayon na-realize ang kanyang pagkakamali. Hindi na siya nangatwiran. Willing siyang tanggapin ang pagkakamali at willing siyang ituwid yun. Sabi niya, uuwi nga ako sa tatay ko, mas mabuti pa doon. Kahit itrato ako doon katulong, total katulong din lang ako dito, doon na lang. Mas masagana pa. So sabi niya, iyan ang gagawin ko. Tatanggapin ko ang pagkakamali ko at hindi na ako mag-e-expect ng dating treatment. Total nagkamali ako eh. Ito ang mabuting anak. Hindi yung hindi nagkakamali. Kasi lahat naman nagkakamali. Pero yung nagkakamali, pero umaamin. Nagpapakumbaba. At bumabalik kahit naglalayas. So identify the unkind and the ungracious employer of your life. The unkind and ungracious father that you seek shelter under his shadow. Identify unkind and ungracious shepherds that don't feed you, but only use you, and go away from them to be happy. You see here the lessons? Analyze your situation and improve it. Any unhappiness is caused by a reason. Dig deep, look into the reason, and correct mistakes. Bawa, meron kayong unhappiness sa mag-asawa, may dahilan yan. Hukayin ninyo, bunutin ninyo, para sumaya kayo. Meron ka unhappiness sa family, sa work, sa profession, sa romantic relationship, with yourself, laging may dahilan. Huwag mong itago sa sarili mo yung dahilan. Harapin mo siya. Bunutin mo siya. At kung kailangan magdusa ka sa paggawa nun, magdusa ka. May inaantay ka namang panahon ng paggaling, panahon ng restoration. Kesa wala kang hinihintay, tas hindi mo binabago ang sitwasyon mo na di naman maganda. Seek better conditions if you want to be happy. Huwag kayong tumanggap na lamang na para kayong walang kalaban-laban at walang choice. Seek better conditions. And resign a bad-paying job. Tulad ng ginawa niya. Ang dami nagre-reklamo, hindi masaya sa trabaho, edi umalis ka, maghanap ka iba. E paano po, mahirap naman maghanap. O di sige, diyan ka na lang, huwag ka na magreklamo. Hindi naman pwedeng sabay yan. Pero ginawa niya yung dapat niyang gawin. Ang laki ng risk. Kasi hindi niya alam ang magiging reaction ng father niya. Pero at least alam niyang tatanggapin siya kahit man lang katulong. Brother and sister, get out of a bad deal. Get out of an unfair relationship. Get your share of what the Father likes to give you. God wants you happy. Proverbs 6:5, free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Yan, utos yan, itinuturo sa mga taong naging garantor ng utang ng iba. Sabi, pag na-realize mo na naging garantor ka pala, alam mo ba na hindi ka malaya? Kasi pag hindi siya nakabayad, ikaw ang mapapahamak. So, huwag kang magpahinga, huwag kang matulog hanggang hindi mo nababawi ang pagiging garantor mo. Free yourself like a gazelle. Alam niyo yung mga gazelle, yung mga hayop na mga sungay, na yung sungay nila kuminsan, sumasabit sa mga tinik, sa mga siit. Pag hindi nila napawalan yung sarili nila doon, pag may dumating na hunter o pag may dumating na ibang hayop, kayang-kaya silang kainin. Kaya sabi, yan ang sitwasyon mo if you are committed to something very bad. Get out of that commitment para maging malaya ka. Sasabihin ng iba, paano naman po ako lalaya sa husband ko na ng babae, hindi tumutulong sa akin, hindi ako sinusustentuhan, di ba, kasal po kami. Yes, hindi ko sinasabing tanggalin mo yung pagkakasal nyo, pero maghanap buhay ka. Para pagka hindi ka niya sinusustentuhan, hindi ka nakaaasa. Gusto mo maging malaya, at least kung hindi ka malaya legally from that marriage, malaya ka financially. Hindi kahit ano na lang ang ibato sa'yo, tatanggapin mo dahil wala kang hanap buhay. Kailangan maghanap buhay ang tao. Tulad ng ginawa nitong lalaking ito, kahit taga-alaga ng baboy, kailangan meron siyang kitain para siya may kainin. Some people get into very bad marriages, really. But what do? At least you minimize the impact of a bad relationship. At least be economically independent. Gumawa ka ng paraan, hindi madali, pero lalong mahirap na umaasa ka, alam mong harap-harapan na hindi ka na iginagalang, wala ka lang magawa dahil economically dependent ka. So, learn from this man. It was difficult, but earn your keep and free yourself. Back to the story. Luke 15:20. The younger son got up and started back to his father. But then when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt sorry for him. He ran to his son and hugged and kissed him. Ine-expect niya siguro pagagalitan siya. Ang istorya talaga dito, hindi yung anak, hindi yung pagkakamali niya. Ang kwento dito tungkol doon sa ama. Kung anong uri ng ama siya. Dahil siya yung ama natin sa langit, only represented in the story by this father. So, lesson on happiness: love those you love in spite of their antics. Learn from this father. Alam niya, hindi naman napakaganda ng ginawa ng anak niya. Nadagdagan pa ng pagkakamali. Nadagdagan pa ng failure. Pero nung umuwi, ang una niya isinalubong, love. Hindi sermon. Alam niyo yung umuwi, nagpapakumbaba, tumatanggap ng pagkakamali. Sermon ang pinakahuling kailangan nun. Dahil yung pag-uwi lang niya, pagpapakumbaba niya, daig pa niya ang nasermonan mula ulo hanggang paa. Hindi na kailangan ng additional sermon. Love your children. Love your wife. Love your husband. Love whoever needs your love. Love especially your family. And express that love. Hindi yung naaawa ka na, ayaw mo pang ipahalata dahil tinuturuan mo siya ng leksyon. Itong example na to ng tatay na ang supreme example because this is God being represented. Do not withhold love. Kumisan sa pagmamatigas mo, sa kagustuhan mo magturo ng leksyon, nagtitigas-tigasan ka, pero actually, naaawa ka rin naman, gusto mong mahalin. Mahalin mo na lang. Yun ang kwento ni Jesus. It is love that empowers. It is love that lifts us up. And it is the Father's love that gives us the security that we all need. Nagulat siguro yung anak. Niyakap siya, amoy baboy siya. Gusgusin. Umalis siguro ang gwapo-gwapo. Pagbalik na, yagit na yagit ang dating. Ang salubong ng ama, yakap. Hindi, ano? Diba? Ganun usually ang gusto mong salubong. Luke 15:21. The son said, Father, I have sinned against God in heaven and against you. I am no longer good enough to be called your son. Realistic tong anak. Sinasabi niya, hindi na po ako bagay sa kanyang treatment. Kahit katulong na lang, ipagpapasalamat ko na. Deserve ko naman eh. So lesson on happiness, be humble to those that you offend, to those that you wrong, especially to those that you hurt. Hindi ikaw na nga nagkamali, ikaw pa itong matapang. Ito pa itong nagtatapang-tapangan, ikaw pa itong galit. Accept the fruit of your deeds. Naku, ikaw ay anak, nagkamali, grounded ka, tanggapin mo. Nagkamali ka eh. Willing na willing siyang tanggapin na maging katulong na lang siya. Meron kasing lesson dito on happiness. To be happy, you need to be forgiven. Hindi ka sasaya talaga kahit ka magpanggap, kahit maganda yung damit mo, kahit may pera ka, masarap ang kinakain mo. Kung alam mo na may ginawan ka ng mali at hindi ka humihingi ng tawad, ikaw na mismo, yung budhi mo na mismo ang magtatanggal sa'yo ng kaligayahan. You can be noisy, you can be loud, but you can never really be happy because you need to be forgiven. Relationships have to be stored for people to be happy. To be happy, you need to be restored. So huwag magmatigas, huwag mabuhay sa mali. Basta naggising, nagkaroon ng kaliwanagan agad, natauhan, tanggapin agad, bumalik, magpakumbaba. What did we get from the Son? A self-confession. It was not extracted or forced from Him. Hindi na natin kailangang pilipitin ang taong tumatanggap na nga ng mali. Kuminsan, hindi naman malakas ang loob na magsabing diretsong, I'm sorry, pero dinalang ka naman ng pakwan, yun na yun. Ginawang ka ng kape, inalo kang kumain, yun na yun, kunin mo na lang yung essence, huwag mo na siyang antaying lumuhod pa, magsabi pa ng I'm sorry. Marami namang paraan ng pagsasabi nun eh. At hindi lahat ng tao kayang diretsahan na sabihin yun. Meron silang ibang paraan ng pagpapahiwatig. Appreciatein na natin yun. At padaliin natin para sa kanila ang paghingi ng tawad. Huwag na tayong masyadong maging unreachable. Para pare-parehong masaya. Because to be happy, you not only need to be forgiven when you are the wrongdoer, you need to forgive. Bawat galit mo, lalo sa mahal mo sa buhay, nagpapalungkot yun sa'yo. At kuminsan, hindi mo yun masyadong nare-realize, hindi mo lang alam kung ba't hindi ka masaya, bakit may kulang. Ang kulang pala pagpapatawad. Remember, nagpatawad yung ama kahit hindi humihingi ng tawad yung anak. Matalinong ama. Paano nga naman kung paglapit hindi naman humingi ng tawad? Alam ba naman ng ama yung purpose ng anak sa pagbalik? Bumalik na gusgusin, bumalik na mabaho. Paano ka sasabihin pala nun? Dagdagan niyo pa yung binigay niyo sa akin. Kulang. Hindi naman alam ng ama eh. Pero inunahan niya yung anak niya, pinatawad niya agad. Pinadali niya yung pagpapatawaran. Padaliin niyo na lang. Lalo't anak niyo, magulang niyo, kapatid niyo. Mahirap naman na magpanggap tayong baliwala sa atin na may mga broken relationships. Hindi yun totoo. Iniinda natin yun. Tanggapin na lang. Paluwagin, padaliin ang buhay. So habang nagpo-protest pa yung anak niya sa ibinibigay na VIP treatment, nakinig ba yung tatay? Sinabi mo, kita mo na, sabi ko sa'yo. Walang ganon. Luke 15:22-24. But his father said to the servants, hurry and bring the best clothes and put it on him. Give him a ring to his finger and sandals for his feet. get the best calf and prepare it so we can eat and celebrate. This son of mine was dead, but has now come back to life. He was lost and has now been found. And they began to celebrate. Grabe yung mga symbols, the best clothes, which means you have a very high status. A ring, which means you are a prince of the kingdom or of the house. Sandals, which means you are a master, because the servants never wore anything on their feet. Diba? At hindi lang basta kung ano-ano ipinahanda, yung best. Alam niyo yung mga may kaya nung araw, maski pa nga yung hindi masyado may kaya, basta na ipipilit nila, may inaalagaan silang special animal na kakatayin nila lang pag merong super great event. Parang sa Europe, ang mga pamilya may itinatagong wine, very good wine, excellent wine, na pag dumating yung pinaka-esteemed guest nila, yun ang ilalabas. May ganon. Yun ang ipinalabas ng ama. The best reception for this son. How to be happy? Love lavishly. Magpakaluho-luho-luho kayo sa pagmamahal. The best lahat ang inilabas. And the point is, hindi naman deserving yung bibigyan. Hindi ka naman nagbibigay dahil deserving siya eh. Nagbibigay ka dahil loving ka. It's you, not the other person. Kaya masaya tong tatay na to. Natuwa siya, hindi niya ikinubli. Nag-celebrate sila, extreme. So love lavishly and love people more than things. Hindi niya sabing, etong nagastos mo. O ayun, alam mo kung magkano tong ring na to, magkano tong binibigay ko na naman sa yung sandals. No. Sa tatay, lahat ng yon baliwala compared sa pagpapasaya niya sa kanyang anak at sa kanyang sarili. Kasi nahihirapan din naman yung loob niya na magkalayo sila. Mas masayang magmahal kaysa laging magmoralize. Laging magbigay ng lesson, ng disiplina, ng parusa. Yung mga bahay na sobra ang discipline, panglabas lang yung ganda nun, pero hindi yun masaya. Aminin. Kung minsan nga sobrang disiplina, hindi mo alam kung palabas sa kapitbahay para walang masabi ang kapitbahay, pero masaya ba? Si Jesus ang nagkwento, dapat pansinin yung mensahe. Remember, this father represents God. This father represents the God many believers do not know or appreciate up to now. They focus on the sin of the son and not on the grace of the father, which is the real story. Tingnan natin ngayon kung bakit gano'n ang pananaw ng iba sa Diyos. Kasi yung isang anak, gano'n ang pananaw niya sa tatay niya. Luke 15:25-32. The older son had been out in the field. But when he came near the house, he heard the music and dancing. So he called one of the servants over and asked, "What's going on here?" The servant answered, "Your brother has come home safe and sound, and your father ordered us to kill the best calf." The older brother got so angry, and he would not even go into the house. His father came out and begged him to go in. But he said to his father, "For years I have worked for you like a slave, and have always obeyed you. But you have never even given me a little goat, so that I could have a dinner with my friends. This other son of yours wasted your money on prostitutes, and now he has come home, and you order the best calf to be killed for a feast." Ito yung relihiyosong anak. Laging correct, laging proper, laging galit, ayaw sumali sa sayawan, sa music, napaka-separatist. Ganon siya dahil hindi niya kilala ang ama niya. Akala niya kailangan niya lagi mag-sacrifice para matuwa ang tatay niya. Kailangan niyang timpiin ang mga kaligayahan niya. Kailangan niya laging magtipid. Kailangan niya laging sikilin ang kanyang nadarama, pati ang gusto niyang kasiyahan. Pero, Nagustuhan ba ng tatay niya yung ganun? Kitang-kita niya sa trato. Ginad siya agad ang kapatid niya. Sabi niya, he wasted his money on prostitutes. The verses never told us that he did that. Sabi lang, wild living. Pero meron na sa agad na buong ideya kung anong ginawa ng kapatid niya. At ginudge na niya, ito yung mga relihiyosong tao. Laging nasa simbahan. Laging correct ang damit. Laging tama ang behavior. Pero judgmental. Pero hindi nag-e-enjoy sa buhay kasi hindi nila kilala ang Diyos. Akala nila ayaw sila ng Diyos na mag-enjoy. Akala nila gusto ng Father in Heaven. Lagi sila nagtitiis, nagdurusa, naghihirap, serve ng serve. Pero yun naman pala, masama ang loob. Yun naman pala, kinikim-kim yung kanilang mga hindi nagawang party. Sabi, nandito ako lagi, serve ng serve. Ni isang maliit na kambing dyan, hindi wala ko nabigyan para mag-party. Yung anak mo na yan, kung ano na pinagagawa sa buhay, best animal pa ang pinagpiesta sa kanya. Di ba ganyan? Mga legalista, mga moralista. Laging parang tama. Pero hindi sila sapat na tama sila. Kailangan sila lang yung tama. These people are not happy being righteous. They have to be self-righteous. They are not happy just being holy. They have to feel holier than others. Ito ang dalawang mananampalataya. At ayun yung Ama na Diyos sa langit. Yung isa na hindi ganun kaligalista, pero kilala niya na ibibigay sa kanya at kilala niya yung Ama na patatawarin siya. Sa palagay niyo, sino sa dalawang anak ang mas malapit sa loob ng magulang? His father replied, verse 31, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours." Parang sinabi lang na tatay, sino may sabi ba sa'yo na huwag kang magpiesta? Ayan naman lahat, nandyan, at di mo ginamit. Lagi kang pa-perfect dyan. Lagi na lang may utang na loob sa'yo ang Ama dahil hindi ka nagsasaya. Andyan lahat Everything I have is yours. What's your problem? Kita mo, hiningi ng kapatid mo yung share niya, binigay ko. Ba't di ka humihingi? Sino sa palagay nyo ang mas nakakakilala at mas nag-a-appreciate at magmamahal sa Ama? Yung younger son o yung older son? Sabi niya, but we should be glad, the father said, and celebrate. Your brother was dead, but he is now alive. He was lost, and now he's been found. At kung pwede lang idagdag dito, yung unsaid, you have always been here, but you are not really here. Like your brother, you were also dead, but now he is alive. You are still dead. You don't know me. You don't know my grace. You don't know how to enjoy your life. You think that you have to sacrifice every time to make me happy. I don't look for sacrifices. I just like to love you. Kailan kaya makikilala ng mga Kristiyano yung Ama natin sa langit na gano'n siya kabuti? Na pag nagkakamali yung kapatid natin, lista tayo ng lista, kwenta tayo ng kwenta, tuos tayo ng tuos, sumbat ng sumbat. Do you think the Father in heaven likes that? What He likes is to celebrate people who come back to Him. He likes to be gracious and is lavish, OA, ang pagmamahal niya. Pag nalaman natin yon, kinilala natin yon, at hindi naman para gayahin natin yung nauna na maglustay, magwasak ng buhay. Yung extreme ang ginawang example para wala na kayong pwedeng gawin pang uri ng pamumuhay na pwede nyo sabihin, ito, hindi na ako matatanggap ng Ama. The Father accepts us. His stubborn love never lets us go, though we go away. Yung relasyon natin sa Ama, hindi minemaintain ng ating performance. Minemaintain nyo ng kanyang love. Kahit bumagsak yung performance mo. Nawa, huwag mong sadyang ibagsak. Pero kung bumagsak, bumalik ka. Meron ba, ayoko po mag-church, sa kakaya sa Diyos, marami kong kasalanan. Lalo niya gusto mag-church ka. Bakit po yung makasalanan ng babae na yan, pinapakanta nyo sa choir? Anong gusto mong gawin? Itapon natin para mabulok na siya sa kasalanan niya. Kung ang mga yung bumabalik nandiyan, pinagsaserve niya. Ba't hindi mo pagsaserven? Ang ayaw nun, yung older brother. At sa church, maraming older brother. Pastor, bakit po yung makasalanan na yan, nandiyan sa ministry? Ba't ikaw, wala ka makasalanan? Laging tinutus, kinukwenta yung iba. Measure people not by your own measurement, but by God's love. Minsan iba, 30 taon, 50 taon na nagba-Bible study, hindi pa to naiintindihan. Hindi pa nakikilala yung ama, tapos ang yabang-yabang, do you know God? Do you know God? You must know God before you die. Yung ganun ng ganun, pero do you really know God? Kung ang alam mo sa Diyos, yung pag nagagalit lagi, papatama ka ng kidlat, bibiyakin yung lupa, kakainin ka ng lupa, bibigyan ka ng sakit, pagdurusa, hindi mo kilala ang Diyos. Yun yung other father. Yung naging employer na nagtatrabaho ka na ayaw ka pa sweldohan. That is not our God. Be happier. Know your Father in heaven beyond what the older brother likes you to see. Sa kanya dapat i-deserve mo lahat. Dapat maging deacon ka, i-deserve mo yan. Kakanta ka, tutugtog ka, i-deserve yan. No one deserves the goodness of God. Because our best deeds are just like filthy rags. Ang pinakamabubuti nating gawa ay para lang basahan. Kung ikukumpara sa kaluwalhatian ng Diyos, nobody is good enough. And the Bible is clear, no one is righteous. Not even one. Not even that older brother. Not even the conservative religious person. Lahat tayo may buntot, kanya-kanya lang hila. So dapat tigilan yung judgment, tigilan yung pagko-compare, and just enjoy God's love. Enjoy being in the house of God. So, to be happy, do not hold grudges. Do not be bitter against people who enjoy themselves. Ba't magalit na galit itong lalaking ito sa kapatid niya? Hindi naman yung parte niya ang hiningi. Hindi naman yung parte ng tatay niya kasi mayaman pa rin yung tatay niya. Ang hiningi naman niya yung kanya. So, ba't siya gagalit itong kapatid? Inggit. Marami rin mga religious people inggit sa mga tao who have fun. Kaya ginadjudge nila. Tuwang-tuwa sila, you will boil in hell. Yung mga ganyan. Parang ang saya-saya nila dahil pupunta sa impyerno yung iba. May mga ganon. Pag nagkasakit, kita mo na, parusay ng Diyos. Parang tuwang-tuwa. Hindi kilala ang Ama sa langit. To be happy, brothers and sisters, do what is good, but do not sacrifice needlessly. God is not impressed with sacrifices. God is impressed with humility. With a broken and contrite heart. Hindi nagmamalaki. Tumatanggap ng mga kamalian. And a great lesson here is to get and have your own fun and happiness. Hindi tulad nitong isang older brother. Meron namang resources, hindi nag-enjoy. Siya patuloy na sa pagsabihan. Bakit? Andito ka naman na. Everything I have is yours. Sino ba may sabing, huwag kang mag-party? Enjoy your privileges. And as children of God, we have a lot. Do not imitate the excesses of the younger son, of course. But remember, the father did not raise an issue against the younger son. Kahit ano pang ginawa ng anak na yon, hindi niya kayang ubusin yung pagmamahal at kayamanan ng kanyang Ama sa Langit. Si Jesus ang nagkukwento, anong uri ng Ama sa Langit ang gusto ni Jesus na makilala natin? Yung amang mabait, mapagbigay, mapagpatawad. The younger son actually had his cake and ate it too. Mapalad kasi mabait ang magulang. Hindi dahil deserve niya. This is the Father's grace. And this is the story. The story is not the mistake of the younger son. The story is the endless love of the Father. Focus on that. And the lesson is, of course, for fathers to be gracious. Mga ama ng tahanan, be gracious with your love and express it. Hindi ko mo, tatay, parang nabawasan yung pagkamacho mo, pagkalalaki mo, kung mabait ka. Ito yung supreme example. The lesson is for fathers to be gracious, not for younger sons to be abusive. Don't get that wrong. What he did was wrong, but that's not the story. Because it's not a story, because all of us do wrong. So what's the story there? Nothing special. Everyone is a sinner. Everyone has mistakes. But the story is that the Father never lets go. The lesson is for fathers to be gracious, not for older sons to sacrifice, then bear grudges. Meron pa nga dyan. 5 taon na ako nagsaserve dito, serve ako ng serve sa church. Pagkatapos nang namatay ang asawa ko, di ko kayo nakita. Di ba? Parang, I deserve it because I served. Privilege to serve God. And if people can be nice to us, if they have the time, if they have the opportunity, good. But if they don't have that, wala kaya tayong karapatang manumbat. Because we can never outserve God. Walang tampo-tampo. Ang tagal-tagal ko na dito, tapos nung ide-dedicate ang tricycle namin, hindi naman nakarating si pastor. Diba? Yung may mga tampo-tampo, walang ganyan-ganyan. Because lahat tayo nagtutulong-tulungan. Kasi lagi ka lang magagalit. May dumataang hangin, pinagdaramdam mo. May kasama ka ng loob, ang dami-dami mong dala. Paano ka sasaya? Kailangan tanggalin lahat yan. Palitan ng pag-iisip. Sabi ng Romans 12:2, be changed by the renewing of your mind. So kung hindi ka masaya, hindi ka pinagkakaisahan ng lahat ng planeta. Hindi ka lang masayahin. Palitan ang paraan ng pag-iisip, ng pakikitungo sa kapwa para sumaya-saya. Enjoy life. Sa palagay nyo, yun sa magkapatid, sinong nalugi sa dalawa? Di ba? Yung stricto. Siya ang nalugi. Ang ending naman nila, pareho lang silang nasa bahay uli ng tatay niya. Di pa siya nagka-fun. I'm not saying kopyahin natin buong-buo yung ginawa nung isa. Pero ang point is, hindi siya nangimi na mag-enjoy. Kasi alam niya, mabait ang tatay niya. Pero yung kalabisan na, syempre, hindi na natin dapat kopyahin yun. Be thankful for the Father's lavish love. Do not sacrifice all the time. Yung mga ate-ate na sobrang magsakripisyo para sa mga kapatid, niyayaya kayo ng nobyo yung magpakasal, pero ayaw nyo pa dahil may pinapaaral pa kayong kapatid. Tapos ang gumraduate na yung kapatid nyo, pagka-graduate nag-asawa. Eto kayo ngayon, si Tenta na, wala pa kayong BF. Naalala naman kaya kayo ng kapatid nyo, nung hipag nyo. Ibig sabihin, yes, be nice, be good, but don't always sacrifice. And do not sacrifice your own dreams for the dreams of other people, kahit kapatid nyo siya. Because at the end of the day, people will be selfish. They will take care of themselves. They will not even remember you. Swerte ka na kung napaalala ka pa. Lalo kung nag-asawa pa to ng maramot. Kawawa ka ngayon. Ano magagawa mo? Lumipas ang pagkakataon. Kakanta ka kasabay si Tilly Moreno. Alam niyo yung kanta? Saan ako nagkamali? Saan ako nagkamali? Yan. Dahil sinakripisyo mo ang buhay mo. Sino ba may sabi magsakripisyo ka? So gumawa ka ng mabuti, pero isabay mo rin yung sarili mo sa enjoyment, hindi yung nakastop ka, sila go. Kasi ginoglorify yan ng relihiyon, pero hindi yan ang ginoglorify ni Jesus. Jesus wants you to have fun. It's no simple story that his first miracle was to make wine. And Jesus was called a glutton and a drunkard because he was in every party. When will you know Jesus, the real one? He sets people free. May babaeng nagngangalgal sa paanan niya. Hinayaan lang niya. Sabi ng isa, kung alam lang niya na masamang babae, hindi siya papayag. Alam nga niyang masama, kaya siya pumayag. Dahil sa kanya, he's a friend of sinners and tax collectors. Dapat ang mga Kristiyano, friend of sinners and tax collectors, hindi judges of sinners and tax collectors. Kasi ang may papel nun yung Pharisees, not Jesus. It is the wrong father. Yung father na inaalagaan mo na yung baboy niya, ayaw ka pa sweldohan. But the gracious Father is kind. Love lavishly. Magmamahal na rin lang kayo, lagyan niyo na ng feelings para masaya. Pag may pagmamahal kayo, hindi nyo ibinibigay, nagkakasakit kayo. Kasi hindi na express. Express it. And be happy. Mga kapatid, learn from this story.